Sports Beat is powered by KSLSports.com.
We've been through. Just so proud of these guys.
We went through a lot. Just the fact that we were able to get through so much adversity. We had to endure the death of Aaron. That was hard. From tragedy to loss.
12 years in the making.
Just starting off the season not on the wrong foot. Who are we? We had to figure out exactly who we are as a team. It was special, man. It really made us, I think, who we are today. Yeah! We're attacking it just like what Aaron would want, and even Ty. That's probably the most special part of it.
Last year was special, a season to remember for a number of different reasons. Can the Utes duplicate that success and repeat as Pac-12 champions, or can they take things even to another level?
Yeah, we'll explore that and a lot more during the next half hour. This is the KSL Sports 2022 Utah Football Preview Special. Interviews with Kyle Whittingham, Cam Rising, Clark Phillips, and more, as well as coaches and players around the Pac-12 Conference.
Expectations have never been higher going into a season in program history. For the first time since joining the Pac-12, the Utes are the preseason favorite to win the conference title. It doesn't stop there. Some national media have Utah picked to reach the college football playoff. That's a lot of hype, and the Utes are embracing all of it.
That's the biggest thing, just trying to get to the highest place possible. Our goals are the playoffs. Our goals are, now we're trying to broaden our horizons, if you would, and not just, limit ourselves to one thing. We've accomplished the championship, and we want to do it again. We want to be repeat champs, but we also want to be in the playoffs as well. We want to be on the national stage.
Tell our guys all the time it's harder to stay on top than it is to get to the top. And so that's our challenge, is to try to maintain it. And there's still things out there that we haven't accomplished. Getting to the CFP, that's something it's something that we're always looking towards.
And the Utes will be tested early this season. The season opens on September 3rd in the Swamp against the Florida Gators. Just the second meeting between the two schools. Utah lost its only other meeting back in 1977. Then SUU, San Diego State at home before beginning conference play. Home games against Oregon State, USC, Arizona, and Stanford in the Pac-12. They'll face Arizona State, UCLA, and Washington State on the road. That leads us to November 19th, the second to last game of the year at Autzen Stadium. A lot could be on the line when the Utes face the Ducks again. How great would that be? And then, of course, the Buffs in Boulder to wrap up the regular season. That schedule is the blueprint to a potential run at a college football playoff invitation. But to get it, they need a big non-conference win. Circle that season opener in SEC country. A win over Florida to kick things off would be the jumpstart for the Utes on that quest. It won't be easy. The Swamp is known as one of the most intimidating home field advantages in the nation. The Utes can't wait to face that challenge, though.
It's got our guys' attention. It's had their attention since January, since the season ended. You can't ease into the season when you're playing a team from the SEC. The Swamp, great place to play, tradition, just all the history there. Florida's going to have great athletes. We know that. So it'll be a big challenge for our program.
There's always hype around the SEC, and you always want to see and play against the best teams that you can, because you want to continue to improve and get better in this game, and just looking forward for that opportunity to finally go down there and see what it's like.
Now, a special season requires a special player quarterback, and the Utes believe they have that quarterback. They were 9-2 last season in games started by Cam Rising. He says he was only 80% last year after recovering from shoulder surgery, so a lot more is expected this year. His 80% though was really good. 2,500 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. Another 6 touchdowns on the ground. His QBR was 6th in the country. So how good can he be this year at 100%? He overcame a lot of adversity the past 2 seasons and is now poised to lead the Utes to new heights this fall.
You just got to keep believing in yourself and really always keep that confidence and understand that the cream will rise to the top eventually. And I took the mindset of I'm going to be so good in that situation that you can't deny it, and that was kind of my mindset. And
just a field general. Everyone respects him and he demands respect, and he kind of just pulls the guys in the right direction. It's great to have him.
why wouldn't you want to block for him? You know, he's a good guy. You know, he demands like the best out of you, just like you want to demand the best out of him.
I do see more zip on the ball. We didn't get a good look at the deep throws being in that field position, but he's always had a lot of confidence in those fade throws.
I mean, yeah, as perfect as Cam is, everyone can be better, you know, and I think that's a test of his character. You know, he's here every day working hard, and like everyone's been saying, his arm's been getting stronger, and you know, his mental game is getting stronger. He's smarter now, and he leads everyone.
He's the leader of the leaders. You know, every team that you know is, you know, to get to that elite level, you got to have great leadership. And within that leadership, there's got to be a leader that is the leader of the leaders. And Cam is that guy. He sets the standard, and he demands that everybody live up to that standard in a positive, constructive way. And so I've been around a lot of terrific leaders through my time at Utah, and he's as good as we've ever had there.
It's just a great vote of confidence to have your coach saying that about you, and he's a big reason that I am able to lead in that situation and just have such a good example, because he's already laying that foundation for the whole team. So it's easy because we just got to handle our 20 square feet in those instances.
And Cam's going to have plenty of weapons at his disposal that should make his job a lot easier. Several players who could have left early for the NFL chose to come back to be part of something special. Tavion Thomas returns after rushing for 1,100 yards and 21 touchdowns. Braden Daniels returns on the offensive line. And the dynamic tight end duo of Brant Kuithe and Dalton Kincaid put off the pros for one more year to have a chance at another championship.
It was kind of just a collective little group, and we all agreed that we want to run this back and see what we can do and make happen. I mean, it's always easier when you know who you're working with and what you have to work with, and just excited to really watch those guys go and really get them the ball and see what they get done.
Yeah, we expect to be very productive. We were productive last year. I think we scored 36 plus points a game, and so we've got to take that to another level this year. No reason we shouldn't be productive. We've got the quarterback. We've got a strong offensive line, a strong run game, as good a tight ends as in the country. I think the real key is for our outside receivers to make even more big plays than they did last year.
Well, when you look at the 2022 version of the Utes, there certainly is a lot more continuity on the offense than one season ago. And last season's offense, they were pretty good. A top 20 team in yards and top 10 in offensive touchdowns. It helps that there's no confusion who the leader is, as we've talked about this season with quarterback Cam Rising. He has an offensive line also that returns 3 starters from last season to protect him, and some talented pass catchers too. The wide receiver core is one of the most balanced and diverse position groups on the roster. Solomon Ennis, Jalen Dixon, Devon Vele, they'll all be key targets for an offense that wants to impose some muscle and fear this fall.
Hey, we tough and nasty, man. That's how I'm gonna identify us. Like, we just tough and we gonna bring it. Yeah, that's how I can say we're gonna dominate.
Physical, tough, playmakers, lethal. You know, I think everyone on this team wants to be that team that people fear.
Tight end group is solid. Cam's great. Running backs, O-line, everyone's doing great. Just kind of have to improve and build on top of each other, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, there's some plays that are, designed, some new little wrinkles, not brand new plays, but new wrinkles with player skill sets in mind.
If we want to make that push, we got to be balanced all the way around, and we got dudes all over this field, and we can do it, and we're going to get it done.
Working in the same system for 3 and 4 years with a lot of these guys have been, we all have a lot of confidence right now.
Focus. Now I'm devoted, I know where I'm going, controlling emotions, I'm owning the moment. In order to get it, see, you gotta want it. This type of flow make a levy break. Confessions over these 808s. Don't sleep on the key, better stay away. I mean, for heaven's sake.
Oh man, how do you move on from one of the greatest players to ever wear the Utah uniform? How do you replace the leader of your defense, a linebacker taken in the first round of the NFL draft? Now that Devin Lloyd is at the top of the depth chart for the Jaguars, who will the Utes turn to fill the void left behind? Well, Coach Whittingham is known for developing players that emerge into prominent roles on his defense, and at linebacker, a combination of players could do that. Returning players like Karene Reed, newcomers like freshman Lander Barton, and transfers like Florida's Mo Diabate, who led the Gators with 89 tackles last season, and who's anxious to step into those shoes that Lloyd left behind.
Tough shoes to fill. Mo Diabate, our transfer from Florida, ironically enough, is a guy that's right in the mix there.
Athleticism, speed, energy. He is a savvy football player, bends the right way. You know, he's not as big as Devin. He's long, he's fast and quick, just as quick. But you can tell he was coached up well at Florida, and we're fortunate to have him.
Just like Coach Scally said, RSMB, relentless, smart, nasty ball hawks. I feel like the relentless, you know, my speed and my athleticism, I'm always going to push to the ball. And that nasty, I feel like once I get there, it's going to get nasty. So I feel like, you know, I'm trying to still, you know, bind to the culture and make sure I can do everything that this program asks me to do.
Landon Barton had a terrific spring as a true freshman. Justin Medlock, another true freshman, had a great spring. Karenni Reed and some of the other guys that we got coming back, Andrew Mataafa. So there's going to be a lot of competition to see who those two guys are, and then 3 guys in the 43 package. But that's something that is really a priority for us in fall camp, is to get that sorted out.
Utah had a talented secondary last season, but it was ravaged by injuries. So much so that running back Mekhi Bernard had to play cornerback in the Rose Bowl. But health has looked favorably on the Utes in recent months. Travis Broughton, Zamiah Vaughn, Fabian Marks, they've all recovered and are ready to roll. Malone Mataele is back at nickel to go along with All-American candidate Clark Phillips III. At safety, Colt Bishop hopes to build on his fantastic freshman season. R.J. Hubert returns from injury, and FCS transfer Clayton Isbell is showing out so far in camp.
Man, yeah, it's nice to have those bodies back, particularly guys that have played. You know, Zamiah Vaughn, who was coming along doing really well, making plays for us, and gets injured in the Pac-12 Championship game. You get Faye back, you get JT, who was lost in the BYU game with the labrum. So, yeah, I mean, it allows us to do much more schematically.
Those guys are starving, and all of us really, man. And it's just special to be a part of a room where we have so much depth. I feel like we have 5, 6 guys that I feel confident about. Guys that have played in games, guys that have played significant reps in big moments.
We're exploring all options, and we're open for business.
With respect to the Big 12 being open for business, I appreciate that. We haven't decided if we're going shopping there yet or not. That remark was a reflection of the fact that I've been spending 4 weeks trying to defend against grenades that have been lobbed in from every corner of the Big 12, trying to destabilize our remaining conference. I get why they're scared. I get why they're trying to destabilize us, but I was just tired of that.
It has been a wild summer. I would love to just focus on the Utes offense, defense, and special teams in this preview show, but another stunning round of college football realignment this summer has made that impossible. And the news that the Big Ten has poached USC and UCLA from the Pac-12 has significant impact on the future of Utah football. You heard Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff. He feels the conference is under attack from 2 fronts, and it's his job to get the best media deal possible the remaining members of the conference in order to keep the league together. Time will tell if he can do that. It's impossible to predict what is next, but there's no doubt it all impacts Utah football in the future. But the Utes have put themselves in a great position as realignment plays its way out.
I'm a traditionalist. I'd like to see it stay how it's been for a lot of years, but that's over with. I mean, it's the new landscape of college football. It's still being formed. I think there's a lot more change and alignment that's going to happen. But, you know, college football as we knew it for the last 30, 40, 50 years is out. And it's more like a minor league NFL model. That's kind of what it's gravitating towards.
Do you feel good in the position you're at, knowing what could happen in the future?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good things going for us right now. You know, just speaking of this year, got a lot of returning starters. And really that's ultimately how you survive, is to play your way into it by winning, and that's what we got to continue to do.
So where is all this headed? How much different will college football be 5, 10, 20 years from now? It's anyone's guess, but Stanford head coach David Shaw shared his take with me, which was a very interesting perspective from one of the most respected coaches in the country.
I honestly believe over the next decade and a half, 2 decades, in some way, shape, or form, it's going to self-correct. Conferences were built by regions, and I think at some point in time, it's going to go one way or the other. We're going to have these massive mega conferences, and there's going to be a West Coast division, which is going to feel a lot like the Pac-12, right? Or at some point in time, it's going to reform itself as a conference. So I think that is one of those things I think eventually will self-correct.
We'll all stay tuned on this drama. All right, the Utes are the team to beat in the Pac-12 this year, but apparently someone needs to tell USC.
Yeah, no kidding. Lincoln Riley left the plains of Oklahoma for the beaches of LA. He brought his quarterback with him, Caleb Williams, as well as plenty of hype.
Yeah, USC certainly made a big splash with the hire, and of course, Caleb Williams is a great talent. No question about it. They also added Bolitnikoff winner Jordan Addison at receiver from Pitt. But this team was 4-8 last season. They struggled in the trenches and finished 89th in total defense. With so many new faces in key positions, including head coach. Despite all this, the Trojans made some bold declarations at Pac-12 Media Day.
What is your expectation for this year?
To win a championship.
Comes with USC and the expectations and national championship for us and all that stuff.
Why not embrace it is my question. Like, why fear it? Why not embrace it?
We all came here with one goal in mind, which was getting USC back to where it belongs.
I think we match up with anybody in the nation. I'm not putting one team in that place to match up against. I want to knock it out the park, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Our passing game plus our run game, and then our chemistry as a together, tight-knit team. It's unstoppable. I can't wait.
We expect to have a national championship caliber defense here at USC, and I believe we have the people to do that.
Buzz this offseason has been overwhelming. The expectations were through the roof. It's almost CFP or bust for this team this year. Is that too much? Do you embrace those expectations?
You don't come to USC and you don't come to Los Angeles to do things small. You got to set your sights big, and so I don't think it's too much. I don't. I believe in what we're doing. I believe in what we're teaching. I believe in the people that we have in there, and obviously it's going to continue to evolve through years. I didn't come here for one season. I didn't come here to do this in a short term, and so in some respects you keep the long game in mind, but the people we brought in here, the staff we brought in here, we didn't come here to play for second. That's the word not. We are not wired that way. We came here competitively to win championships, to win them now, and to win them for a long time. And that'll always be our expectation.
Unstoppable offensively. We'll see about that. The Utes will have something to say about it all when they host the Trojans on October 15th. The 2021 season was unforgettable, honoring Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe with a special season, a Pac-12 championship, and a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Now a new season begins with even more promise. And we're making a promise to all of you Utah fans. Our promise, you're going to love this Utah hype reel to get you ready.
College football as we knew it for the last 30, 40, 50 years is out.
We've accomplished the championship, and we want to do it again. We want to be repeat champs, but we also want to be in the playoffs as well. We want to be on the national stage.
Rising will just take it himself. Look at it go. Touchdown.
The leader of the leaders, and Cam is that guy. He sets the standard, and he demands that everybody live up to that standard in a positive, constructive way. This football team made history. Won the Pac-12 Championship, which had never been done at the University of Utah. Played their way into the Rose Bowl game, and played their hearts out for 60 minutes. They got nothing to hang their heads about, and we just didn't quite have enough in the tank to get it done.
All right, we've got 30 seconds left, Sam. I'm going to put you on the spot. Your prediction for the Utes in 2022.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bold here. I think they do win at the Swamp in Florida, and then they'll be 10-0 when they go to Outson Stadium to face Oregon.
Okay, I've got them 11-1 this year. There's always going to be that one game, but they're going to win the Pac-12 Championship game, and they're going to the college football playoff this year. The Pac-12 will be in the college football playoff. How about that?
I would love to see it.
Let's see if it happens. Thanks for watching, everybody.